It's not about just about
Nope,
how
nope,
much I
nope.
paid for them.
How much did you
This
pay for
are
them? You're not
they're
injured. You're
custom
not going to
made.
get pain
These are
and suffering.
custom made. These are
Custom made.
custom made. Okay,
Okay.
they're made with the ashes of people who died.
All right. Again, now can I have Miss Heiss and Mr. Bako to go ahead and unmute for me? Raise your right hands for me, folks. Thank you. Ms. Mumpkin, again, you're free to go. Folks, I'm going to ask each of you some questions here. I've looked over the initial documents, and then we'll just get into it. No need to speak over each other, all right? All right, so Ms. Heiss, I'm going to ask you some questions. Do you have a written lease with Mr. Bako?
Yes, sir.
Or Bako, okay. And is that lease still in its terms, or is it month to month now?
Neither. He has moved out.
He has moved out. Okay, he's already vacated.
Correct.
Okay, now I've looked. You're now just looking for money, then? Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And do you know when he vacated?
February 1st.
All right. And how much is monthly rent?
$1,900.
Is there a late fee?
$10 a day, but we max out at $190 for the month.
Yep. And so he's already vacated. Let's see. And you have the key. All right. And on your complaint here, I believe it appears to be 2215. This was filed in January. Obviously, he vacated by the end of the beginning of the month here in February. So last time he paid rent?
December.
Okay.
No, sorry. Yeah, it was in December, but for December, because December was late as well.
Okay. And so he's made that, was that payment in full?
Not really. He didn't pay all the late fee, but I let it go.
Okay. So he's really just missing for January. And I guess then you're looking for a late fee for January as well.
Correct. And that one day in February for the overstay.
Okay. All
and
right.
the court costs.
Yeah, I got it. 1 month, 1 day. Late fee. All right. Let's hear from Mr. Bako. Is it Mr. Bako or Bako? Or neither?
Either one's fine.
Well, I would want to make sure I don't want to keep saying it wrong.
Bako.
Bako. Well, Mr. Bako, I'm going to ask you some follow-up. Again, did you vacate on the 1st of February 2026?
That is correct.
Do you have do you have a lease rather with the Miss Heiss for $1,900 a month?
Yes, I do.
And was it a $190 late fee?
No, not $190 late fee.
It was $10 a day, but tops out at $190.
She was charging $15 a day.
$15 a day. Okay. Well, we top it at 10%, so that's fine. Last time you paid rent?
December.
All right. I know you sent quite a bit of information over to us regarding your answer. I just want to give you an opportunity to tell me exactly what's going on. I know you've already vacated here, so we're not going to give a writ. We're only looking for money. So what's going on?
Well, I mean, as far as rent goes, I've paid. Obviously, it's only for 1 month, and this was filed in the middle of January, and the late fees were already sent to her. I sent $290 to her in January. That had to do with any late fees. So that was done earlier in the month. I did notify her I was going to be late about it. Long story short, I have rented for 1.5 years in total. And out of that 1.5 years, as you can see from the evidence, I started renting in January 2024. From February 2024 all the way till November, there were constant breaches to my quiet enjoyment. Everything from construction. At some point, I even had to go live upstairs with her, and at some point, I got uncomfortable. The construction was ongoing, and I had to find and move out for about 3 months. It was 2 months and some. So my entire time there, from February to December, literally for about 11 months. Every month something was happening. There were many times where she would come in and need things from the basement. There have been a couple of times that she came in with no authority. And as you can see in the evidence as well, there is evidence where she even said that based on me signing the lease, she doesn't need any of my approval to come into my place. She's come in, she's touched my personal property, moved things, thrown things away, and yeah. So I am looking
When's the
for
last time she's entered the property?
um January 30th or 31st. Actually, I'm sorry, February 1st, actually. And
Okay.
I had to call the police. Yeah.
So the day that you moved out, she came.
I was already in the process of moving. The only reason I didn't move out on Saturday was because it snowed. So
What I'm asking then is, you tell me how she came and interfere with your quiet enjoyment. I know you say you moved out that day.
oh, even before that, actually, before that, she had come in at some point in January. So that was the second instant. She wanted to show the property earlier in January, and she had come in a couple of times. And at some point, it just I set
Were
some
you
boundaries.
there when she came in?
I wasn't there. I wasn't there once, and so and she had touched my property, and I complained about it, and she made it seem like it wasn't
In
much of
what
a
way
big
did
deal.
she touch your property?
I have these incense, and there's a whole background around that. I have some of my incense and some other things, and she took them and threw them away. And she wanted to show the property, and I had told her to give me some notice, but that wasn't happening. So I decided to tell her I wasn't comfortable with that arrangement anymore. And she stated that she didn't need my permission. And so she, from my knowledge, just went ahead, showing it to other people. At that point, I found alternative living situation
Okay.
and would come in sporadically.
All right. So what are you're claiming damages here, a counterclaim associated with the past due rent that you owe?
Well, yeah, the past due rent and my quiet enjoyment damages.
Okay. And how have you
Were,
been damaged? You said that those things were thrown away, and you say you know for sure she threw them away. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, I mean, she admitted to it.
Okay. And what were the value of those things?
Well, really, the value to me was there really isn't a value I could put on it. There was something special about those incidents to me, and it had more sentimental value,
Sentimental, yeah.
right, rather than just so. Um, there really isn't a real value to it. She didn't throw all of them away. It was one.
Okay.
So,
Well, why didn't you pay in January then?
well, the reality was this. Usually, if I'm not going to have it on time, I tell her exactly when I'm going to have my payment, and
Yep.
I always do.
Mm-hmm.
In that month, I had told her when it was, and
Mm-hmm.
then before that happened, she had started showing this the property, and that was when she threw my stuff. She threw something. That was when we started having these issues.
Uh-huh.
And so I had moved out, and then it started getting a
So
bit
wait,
aggressive.
I'm letting you talk, but I'm just asking
Yeah.
a specific question here. Why didn't you pay
Why did-
January? It doesn't. I know you've mentioned things that
the
happened in
reality,
2024, but obviously that's
yeah.
almost a year and a
Why
half
I
ago
didn't pay
now.
January was at that point I felt like I wasn't living there long enough, as much as I would enjoy. I wasn't
Right.
there as much as present. And two, she had kept my security deposit before, and she still has it. And so I felt like if I had paid for January in full, she would again keep that deposit, and I wouldn't get my money back again.
Okay.
So
Well, let me speak to Ms. Heiss just to confirm some things. So, Ms. Heiss, I just want to confirm. Obviously, he has indicated that you've entered the property without notice several times, and that he's been damaged. My greater concern, though, is he's saying that you've removed or threw away someone's property. I wanted your response to that.
Sure. So first of all, I've never entered the property ever in either time that he's leased from me without his permission. I've always text him and said, is it okay, if I get something out of storage or whatever? And he always said, that's fine, no problem. So I've never entered without his permission. That's not true, except for a few weeks ago. I woke up at 7 a.m. to thinking my house was burning down. And I'm searching all over, like trying to figure out what's burning. I'm like screaming for my kids, what's burning? What's burning? The house is burning. Something's burning.
Mm-hmm.
Finally, I open the door. It's coming from downstairs. So I'm knocking, I'm yelling, hello, hello. He didn't answer. I thought nobody was down there and my house was on fire down there. So I run back upstairs. I get the key. I go down, I unlock the door and go in to see him passed out on the couch. And the kitchen, there's a pot burning and food exploded all over the kitchen and the pot is burning. So the only time that I've ever entered his unit without his permission was when he almost burned my house down. Okay.
And these
So
are connected units. He's renting like a basement or the lower
it's
level.
my basement. It's my basement. So he could have killed my whole family. And thank God I was home. And thank God I did go in and I have video of it. I took video of me entering the unit because he was starting to get real weird, of me entering the unit, the burner on high. It's an electric stove. So it was bright orange. The pot burnt to a crisp and food exploded all over the ceiling.
I got it. And so, Mr. Bego, what's your response to that?
I would love to see the evidence.
I sent him the video.
Wait, I'm just asking you. I don't need to see evidence. Did you fall asleep on the couch and let a pot
No, I didn't.
burn? I mean, these things happen. It's not I'll be frank. I've done it before. I mean,
I haven't.
But
I mean, it just so happens
to the point that somebody that's had to come in. But did that happen?
It just so happens I've been there a year and a half, and on the month that we're having issues in my last month, a couple of these things happened. You know,
I'm just asking.
It didn't happen. No,
oh, it did not happen. You did not leave a pot on the stove.
I did not.
Your Honor, may I send you the video right now? I can send it to you immediately.
You could send it to my clerk. I mean, Mr. Bacon, I mean, if she's got a video of you, and I get it.
Please send it. Please send it.
I'll be frank though. Honestly, ma'am, it's relevant, but it's not that relevant. More importantly, though, you haven't paid rent, man. Whatever your reason and what you've told me thus far hasn't extended to the period with me believing. You can't even really give me a value to your sentimental valued sense. So I'm going to give a money judgment. Obviously, it's going to be for the month, 1 day, late fee. There's no writ of possession because you're already gone and she has possession. And that'll be it. I hate that it's gotten this far.
I mean, what happens to my security deposit?
Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, your security deposit is not rent, folks. Let me just be clear about that.
I understand.
It is a deposit to protect against either damages or other things. And the goal really is for people to get it back. But your deposit, if you have a money judgment, I mean, that's depending. She still have to give you certain notices to determine whether or not there are any other damages to the property. But yeah, that's for another time, because again, this hasn't even been 30 days since you vacated.
And what happens to my counterclaim?
Well, you haven't proven any damages, sir.
Well, is it just to put an amount to my? I mean,
yeah, but there still has to be a real amount. She's saying she didn't throw away your cents. You said she didn't throw away all the cents. Now you're telling me, well, I don't really know what the value is. It's really difficult.
She didn't actually
respond. Well, Ms. Heist, forgive me. Ms. Heist, did you throw away this incense?
I threw away ashes.
Ashes.
He was burning incense on the table and the table was covered with ashes. And I told him, I asked him, this was in his last month of the lease. I have a clause in the lease that says occupant agrees to cooperate with owner agent in showing property to prospective tenant prior to termination of occupancy.
Okay.
I ran it by him. I said, I'd like to show the unit tomorrow. He said, okay, that's fine. I went down there before the prospect got there and it was an absolute disaster. And the only thing I did was clean the incense ashes off of the table so that the prospective tenant didn't see trash and ashes everywhere. That's all I touched, ashes from incense.
Okay. Well, Mr. Bishop.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. So are we just dealing with what has been dealt with the last month or for the entirety of my lease?
Well, I don't think the relevance of the entirety of your lease at this juncture is really applicable because most of those issues have been resolved. Obviously, if you had other issues, it would have been great to bring those up during those periods. But saying, hey, Judge, 2 years ago, she broke something, but I've continued to pay rent and I've
Go ahead.
continued,
I'll
we've
leave
had
to see
this
if I can get my
unresolved.
car. Okay.
Those are important. It just depends, you know, at this juncture. What you've alleged and what you're talking about to me is some incense. She's saying they're ashes. I'll be frank. You've already vacated. You've admitted that you've not paid rent. What you've mentioned to me at this juncture doesn't really give rise to a significant amount. I think best that I can do, and honestly, in all lieu of what's going on, if you're saying, hey, she took my incense and swept up ashes, which I really don't amount to much more than that. How much you pay for the incense, brother? How much you pay for?
It's not about how much I paid for them.
How much did you pay for them? You're not injured. You're not going to get pain and suffering.
These are custom made. Okay, they're made with the ashes of people who died from
really?
where I'm from. So
they made from ashes. Yes. Is that even legal? Can you have burned people's like ashes of people that have died?
In West Africa, we do that. Yes,
but we're not in West Africa. You know,
right? But I did bring them in from West Africa.
So listen, I'm not going to hear no more foolishness. I'm going to give you a judgment. Listen, it's okay. It's going to be 2153.33. You're already vacated, so you don't need to worry about a writ of possession. And that'll be a plus.
What about the 290 I have paid? What about the 290 I have paid?
The 290 as far as your
290 in late fees.
Okay, well then that would be for the late fees. That my understanding was for December.
No, there were no late fees in December. They weren't paid.
Well, then why were you sending late fees in January?
This was for January because I told her I usually tell her exactly what I'm going to pay. And I told her
when did you pay these late fees in January for prepaying late fees?
Yes, I could tell you the exact date. Hold on one moment.
Your Honor, how about the court costs?
Again, Ms. Heiss, did you receive an additional 290 from him in January?
Yeah.
When did you receive this 290?
I don't have that written down. I'd have to look at bank records.
Mr. Bako, when did you send her the 290?
I would like the 377 in court costs, please.
Court costs are not 377.
This was on the 15th.
Okay.
Well, the court costs are 177 and my filing fee was 200.
All right. I'm going to do what I know I'm going to do based upon the evidence being presented, since you've identified that you did take the 290. But that was before the actual writ, so that means for the action was filed, so that's fine. So I'm going to have an 1863 because I am going to deduct that 290 because that's associated with monies that he has paid.
Okay, I'm going to just check my records and make sure that's the correct
Well, you already
amount.
admitted that you got it. You're just saying you don't remember the day that you got it. So it's going to be 18. Listen, it's going to be 1863.33. It will be plus court cost with 9.75% interest associated with the judgment amount. Again, there's no writ, and that's going to be my order. I appreciate you guys' time, though, and you guys are free to go. You'll get a copy of it in your email. Thank you.
Okay, so that will have the total amount in it?
It'll be the 18 plus court costs. So whatever the court cost is, my clerks will make sure that appropriate amount has been assessed as well. Okay?
Okay, and what about my fee for filing for my time?
It's just, again, you're not a lawyer. You don't get lawyer fees. You get court costs. And that's
my
what I'm
time's
giving
valuable.
you. And so is mine. And I'm going to let you guys go this evening. Thank you.
Can you just tell me how this works in regards to the, me giving the security deposit back less fees?
And I'll be honest with you, ma'am, I'm not your lawyer, but you are required to give him notice regarding keeping the security deposit or any part of the security deposit.
Okay, right. So that's just a completely separate thing.
It is a completely separate thing. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. All right, you guys are both free to go.